speed demon tankers. With an opening like that, we are clearly talking about contracts and how it's been really lovely going from the PTK, DVP 100 and dealing with all that tank destroyer work. Cold War needs more tank destroyers. And now we're on to all the light tanks in Cold War, so that's a lot of go fast boys again. And I'm expecting at this point, when I post this video, that all of you are expert tank destroyer players and burgeoning and clearly skilled light tank players, right? Because that's the whole point of these contracts. Is the point is to get you into a new tank and learn how to play. And if you love your light tanks, like me, subscribe, please. Here we are in Siegfried line in the Type 63-1 or I, either way, a map that shouldn't be in here, but a tank that's really good. And the reason I spent a lot of time and am spending a lot of time with the test contract in Era 1 is because well, for stage 6, it was a whole get spotting damage that was equal to or higher than your health, and that is sometimes a pain in the butt, especially as these contracts kind of seem to backfire more than they do help the game. I know this is an old story, but man, these contracts come out one or two at a time, and suddenly we had a bunch of tank destroyers, which ruined my plan to do a video on the Object 268 version 5. That'll come soon enough, eventually. And now we have an even greater presence of light tanks in Eras 1 and 2. Era 3, hey, go play Era 3 if you don't want to deal with light tanks. I joke on that one. Don't do that. I'm trying to finish off the Israeli tanks. It's not fun. I enjoy light tanks. I really do. But at the same time, sometimes the matchmaker's getting really wonky with the light tank destroyer numbers. And sometimes it's the increased competition from the light tanks and trying to get through the exact same thing I am is not exactly encouraging the proper light tank technique. I know that's kind of hard to do in Cold War with the True Vision, but the whole, I suppose developing the dogfighting skill is interesting. I do find that playing light tanks have made me even better sort of light tank players. For Cold War light tanks have made me better World War II light tank player because I'm just more confident with the speed and the handling. But yeah, you go from having to be kind of sneaky, take up spotting positions, flanking techniques to all right, we meet in the middle open ground and we reenact, World War II Britain during the Blitz. It's not the same. It's not the best, and it's sort of annoying. I was expecting more Dave and Goliath, a lot more FB 4005 tearing apart, but yeah, and so in this match, as it's drawing to an end, I don't get the spotting damage. It was just a fun match and a really nice tank that I kind of, the FB 101 and the 107 definitely take the cake here for having the low health points but act insane spotting, which is why there's so many. And then thank God they don't do a lot of damage, but yeah, I don't, with the whole Tusk and the TVP 100 also kind of having overlapping tank destroyer requirements, or you could use a tank destroyer. I I don't. There needs to be a lot more thought put into the implementation of these contracts, like a heavy tank. Um, that would have been a nice change of pace. I know most of us. Well, if it comes to a medium tank, yeah, we've got most of the mercenaries if you play long, but they offered a premium tank destroyer that has got really good HE. No one in their right mind would be like, yeah, I'm gonna pass that up, or risk, just take myself out of the possibility of making that gold back for a duplicate tank in a future war chest. Yeah, no. I mean, the Tusk is long and arduous, but I personally wouldn't mind seeing some of the Cold War heavy tanks, specifically the British ones, be available on a contract. They're hardly played. They're like 90mm boom snouts really don't do much. 90mm just, they got the decent pen, but they have the low alpha, so it can be a bit, the armor might help, but then I just have it's getting a little hard to enjoy the game right now. I know we got a new season coming around the corner, but it's it's too much of the same tanks, and like Era 1, things will calm down once contracts go away with the light tanks, because they have flaws and they can be a bit annoying, but they can also be really fun. Era 2 is, the meta is definitely shifting away from being medium tank centric and towards light tanks. And I don't think the contract helped with that, because now it's encouraging everyone to learn how to shotgun ATGMs if you haven't already learned. And it's not, it hasn't broken the game, but it has definitely shifted how you anticipate the game to go, how you mentally prepare yourself, and it's like, that can be arduous, and I have fun, but at the same time, it's like, we're all doing the same thing. I don't like that. And here, speaking of contracts and the spotting, I did not intend to YOLO. I did a little overreach with my spotting, but this was one of those downsides of, also, I found the enemy team who just happened to be heading in the opposite direction of me, just all in a group, and it was, thankfully, my team did space themselves out and move up to a point where I was doing my job, but not, it is not exactly how you want a light tank. So again, it's one of those things of, you have to be overly aggressive now, because there's at least 4 to 6 other players doing the exact same thing, and that's double-edged swords of this Tusk contract. It'd be nice to also not have tank destroyers be available as a way to get some of the Tusk contract completed, but I guess World War II players don't play tank destroyers or light tanks a lot. I guess you could just go out and buy a Tehran and make yourselves happy if you can afford it. I don't recommend that. Please don't. The Tehran is just, it's not the same as the Object 120. It isn't. So, how do you guys feel about these contracts? These current contracts. Some of the previous contracts, like, it hasn't been too big of a deal. I think they kind of balance them out a little bit or space them out more. And here we have a very long Tusk contract that might need to be the only primary contract. Like, here's a heavy. Here's the hard case. contract again. I know maybe some of the new Cold War mercenaries might pop up, although I think that might be a little too soon, but it's just, and now I die. Not exactly the intense video I wanted to produce, but on the one hand, it was like, oh, I'm going fast and really trying to maneuver, but at the same, I'm like, I already do this. I'm a light tank player, and I don't know if this is passing on the skills required to be better in this game. But hey, with ATGM changes in the future, I guess we just get our larks out now, and I did eventually get. Oh, this was for stage 5. I'm sorry. And I got a little dizzy doing all the speed runs and stuff, but yeah, seems to be. Is anyone else kind of feeling a little contract fatigue? I'm not really going to burn myself out on the Tusk. I feel confident I can complete it. It's a long one, but let me know. How do you feel about these current contracts, and what contracts do you want to see in the future? Comment down below. Thank you. Hope you checked on the ground and RNG's in your favor. And please, please, watch out for that rock. Goodbye.